Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Hilltop, home of the Harrison County Fillies. And this afternoon, the Fillies playing the Lady Panthers of Ludlow out of the 9th region, out of northern Kentucky. And we'll get ready. Only the second time in school history that they have squared off. Last December, we made the trip up to Ludlow and saw the Ludlow Lady Panthers come away with a big win that night a year ago, 73-57, back on December the 11th of 2021. Ed Lewis in along with you. Jim up with the boys. We'll, of course, have the boys on the radio side of things starting a little before 6 tonight as they get ready to take on Boone County, playing up as part of a 10th region challenge up in Bracken County today. And so the Reds are back in action. In fact, they just left a few minutes ago. They were here at the gym when I got here during the JV ball game. We are being brought to you this afternoon by Cynthiana Tire, Ag Credit, Angelo's Pizza, Sorrel Home Medical, Van Hook Hardware, Poindexter Lumber, Primo Smile at Harrison Memorial Hospital, Southern States, Edward Jones, Bluegrass Stockyards, Hinton Mills, also being brought to you by Unity Christian Church, your Cynthiana Hardys, by the Canup Law, by the Joe Cochran and State Farm Insurance, by Judy Construction, by Snappy Tomato Pizza, by Farm Credit Mid-America. Also being brought to you today by Dustin Rose and Amy Davis at Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. All great folks allowing us to be with you throughout the basketball season, both for the Fillies and the Breds throughout the year. Our pregame report being brought to you this afternoon by Cynthiana's Hardys, 27 South of Cynthiana Hardys. I want you to visit them for breakfast, lunch, or dinner on US 27 South, now serving breakfast till noon on the weekends. About 7 minutes or so from getting this matchup underway. As we mentioned, only the second time these two clubs have met in school history. A year ago, Ludlow coming away with a big win, almost a year to the date, as a matter of fact, on December the 11th. As far as we take a quick look at Ludlow, they're 2-2 on the young year under first-year head coach Blake Clary. Blake Clary, the first year he has been at the helm of the Lady Panthers. Ludlow, as we mentioned last year, were 25-11. Did lose in the first round of the 9th region up in the northern Kentucky. And if you've never been to Ludlow, which I would dare to say a lot haven't, a smaller school, right as you come out of the front door last year, I know when I was leaving, there is a park and then the Ohio River. So, I mean, pretty much if you didn't make the turn, you were going to be swimming. And so right there, as we mentioned, right on the northern Kentucky, as far as about as north as you can get. Harrison County, not a good night last night, falling to 0-3 on the young year after a defeat at the hands of Scott High, where they lost last night by a final of 47-31. So Coach Bill Watson, under his first year at the helm of the Harrison County Fillies, trying to pick up his first win. Of course, Coach Watson, a longtime coach here as far as high school sports goes from around the area. So we'll see if today is that day. As we mentioned, let's go ahead and take a look at your starting lineups. First, for the Lady Panthers at Ludlow, as we mentioned, under head coach Blake Clary at 2-2 on the young year. They will be starting like this. Their leading scorer, they have two players in double figures going into play tonight. One's a senior. She'll be starting inside. That's Amelie Garrett. Amelie Garrett, averaging 14 points, wears the number 11. The other player in double figures is a freshman, Addie Garrett. Addie Garrett averaging 11 points on the year, and she does wear the number 3. Also, as we take a look at other starters, a junior, Olivia King. Olivia King wears the number 22, averages 7.3 points on the year. Also, getting a start tonight, number 13, a junior, Ava Hoffmeister. Hoffmeister averaging 5 points on the year. And the final starter, a junior, averaging 4 points on the year, wears the number 2, Preston King. So that is the way the Lady Panthers will take to the floor in just a little bit. As far as the Harrison County Fillies go, as we mentioned with their record 0-3 under first-year head coach Bill Watson, they will a very familiar lineup. They'll be starting. They have one player averaging double figures. That'd be Keely Custard. Custard, a freshman, wears the number 21, averages 13 points on the year. Her back court running mate this afternoon will be a sophomore, Bailey Hudgens. Hudgens averaging 3 points on the year, wears the number 23. Getting a start inside will be a senior, Brooke Kinney. Brooke Kinney averaging 3.5 points. Did not play last night. She does wears the number 13. Also getting a start inside will be a senior, Caroline Van Hook. Caroline Van Hook averaging 7.5 points on the year, leads the team in rebounding with wears the number 22. And finally in the middle, a sophomore, Katie Linville. Katie Linville wears the number 34. So that is a little what we can expect from Harrison County when we take to the floor. In just a little bit, we will have our national anthem as well as our starting lineups brought to us tonight by Assistant Athletic Director Scott Fields, and so that'll be coming up in just a few minutes or so. Normally, this will be about the point we would hear from Pastor Bruce Templeton out at Unity Christian Church, and of course, kind of do the technical things. We will not have our opening prayer, but we will tell you that Unity Christian Church doing a lot of great things, not only in the community, but getting ready to celebrate Christmas real soon. So go check out Unity Christian Church. Of course, Bruce will be a guest on Coffee Break Extra a week from Tuesday, as he is once a month. Always very interesting when Pastor Bruce Templeton, a guest with the mayor at a week from Tuesday. And so Unity Christian Church, as we mentioned, always great to allow us to have our pregame prayer as well. Our pregame being brought to you this afternoon by Cynthiana Hardee's. Cynthiana Hardee's, as we mentioned, on US 27 South. Great breakfast. Had breakfast there today, as a matter of fact. So you may want to check them out. Here's Cynthiana Hardee's. Both clubs back out on the floor, continuing a little bit of the shoot-arounds as they get ready to get this match underway. Very smaller crowd on hand, as you might expect. Fillies have got their faithful across the way. Ludlow, a very small school, and so but they have brought some faithful with them as well, making that trip down 27 here this afternoon. As far as the student section goes, as soon as we find it, we'll let you know where it's at. The cheerleaders are here. The band taking the night off. They were here last night as well. Well, we mentioned real quick the boys last night picking up a huge win as they knocked out Bishop Brosser, doing pretty much whatever they wanted to do to the Mustangs. We said not an easy place to go regardless of what sport you play. And last night, Harrison County took command early and just pretty much did what they needed to do and running their record, remaining perfect, a 4-0 on the year. But big challenge today. Boone County, a very big school out of the ninth, and we'll see what happens as they get ready to take on the Rebels. As far as the schedules go over the next week or so, both clubs in action on Tuesday night. The Harrison County Thoroughbreds will be in action on Tuesday, as they'll be back here at the Hilltop. And I'll tell you what, if you can make it out, you need to be there, is George Rogers Clark, the defending state champions, undefeated, #1 in the state, will be making their trip here to Harrison County on Tuesday night. Reds also in action next Friday night. Henry Clay will come calling. And then a week from today, John Harden will be up here as a part of the Joe Cochran State Farm Classic. That game at 4:30 next Saturday. So that's the way the Reds look. They'll play Western Hills in that State Farm Classic. The Fillies in action on basically those same nights, on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. We'll take a look at their schedule in a moment. Fillies in action, as we mentioned, Tuesday night, making the trip to Bryan County. We'll have that game on WCYN2's app, with it being a road game and the boys being at home. That, of course, will be here on the YouTube. The girls will be in action on Friday night. They make the trip to Paris to take on the Lady Greyhounds. And then on the following Monday, a week from Monday, they'll be back here at the Hilltop as a part of the 2A state tournament, taking on Western Hills. So that is a little of how the schedules look. We're about ready to head to our PA announcer tonight, Assistant Athletic Director Scott Fields, for tonight's starting lineups as well as our national anthem. And I'll get him turned on here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Harrison County High School for tonight's game between the Ludlow Panthers and the Harrison County Fillies. At this time, we present for the playing of our national anthem. The colors are being presented by the cadets from the Harrison County High School Air Force Junior ROTC program. Carrying the U.S. flag and commanding is Cadet Colonel Peyton Fryman. Carrying the Kentucky State flag is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Abigail Palmer. And the guards are Cadet Captain Miles Bryan and Cadet Major Jesse Munoz.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
There's tonight's national anthem brought to you by country music group Ricochet. And back to our PA announcer, Scott Fields, with tonight's starting lineups.
And now for your starting lineups. First for the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Ludlow Panthers. Number 2, Preston King. Number 3, Addie Garrett. Number 11, Miley Garrett. Number 22, Olivia King. And number 13, Ava Hoffmeister. Head coach is Blake Clary. And now for your 2022-2023 Harrison County Fillies. Number 21, Keely Custer. Number 23, Bailey Hudgens. Number 22, Caroline Van Hook. Number 34, Katie Limble. And number 13, Brooke Kinney. Head coach for the Fillies is Bill Watson. He is assisted by Alexis Campbell, Jeff Kinney, and Casey Watson.
And there's your starting lineups. And it's again Ludlow, the Lady Panthers, 2-2 ended this year under first-year head coach Blake Clary. Ave Hoffmeister, Olivia King, Preston King, Addie Garrett, and Miley Garrett starting for Ludlow. Harrison County going with Brooke Kinney, Keely Custard, Caroline Van Hook, Bailey Hudgens, and Katie Linville. So we'll get ready to get this matchup underway. Harrison County 0-3 on the young year. Miley Garrett will be jumping. As I mentioned, she does lead the team with 14 points jumping for the Lady Panthers. Caroline Van Hook jumping for Harrison County. This game underway. Quickly, Custard comes out with the jump ball. She is quickly picked up by Miley Garrett. Miley coming out, try to meet her, bounce pass inside to Van Hook. Van Hook trying to push her way inside. Instead, we'll go back to Custer. Custer puts up a wild-looking shot. It'll roll everywhere but in. Ball fought for, and coming out with it, it will be Hoffmeister. Hoffmeister gets it down the floor to Garrett. Garrett across the way, gets it to King. King looking inside. They try to go inside. We got a tie-up with Linville, and she gets tangled up with Hoffmeister. Possession arrow belonging to Ludlow, so they will keep the ball. Olivia King will take it out under the basket. Stands and holds the ball, trying to get it into play. She'll get it in the back out front into Garrett. That's Addie Garrett. Garrett puts it up, no good. Ball fought for. Rolls off of Linville's hands, and it will remain Lady Panther ball. Barely underway, 7:18 here this afternoon. Harrison County and Ludlow. Here from the hilltop. Ball put back into play. Garrett will continue. Will hand it off this time to Olivia King. Olivia quickly back out to Addie Garrett. Addie trying to set up for the defense. Hudgens will try to hang with her. She'll go around her, back over to the left side is where she will find King. Long three-pointer put up, no good. And out with the rebound quickly will be Preston King. Preston gets it back across. It's over to Olivia. Olivia goes up, and King puts it up and in for the first bucket of the ball game. 2-0 your score at the 6:48 mark. Ludlow will draw first blood. Hudgens comes up about 5 feet out. I don't know if that was a shot or a pass, but either way, coming out with it will be Addie Garrett. Addie looking to go coast to coast. Gets tangled up with a couple of Fillies, and we got a travel called. So with the turnover, ball put back in Harrison County hands. Brooke Kenny will take the ball out. Brooke looking to try, and we'll get it in. Ludlow going man-to-man full-court defense to get this game going. Hudgens slowly coming across the timeline. Picked up by Addie Garrett, just kind of hanging with her as we go across the half-court line. On the left side, she'll go and almost loses the ball, but is able to pick it up. Ludlow gets a hand on it, ball loose, and with yet another turnover, Addie Garrett will come out with it. Garrett gets it to Mealy Garrett. Mealy looking to the left side, gets it back across court. Shot put up by Olivia King, and up and in. It will go, and she is fouled on the way to the basket. Foul called against Keely Custer. That's the first foul on either ball club. Timeout called by Harrison County. I'm not sure who hit that last shot. I know it was one of the Kings. Let's give that to Olivia. 4 points for Olivia there. 4-0 our score. 6:06 here in the first quarter. Barely underway here from the Hilltop. Like a good neighbor, Joe Cochran with State Farm Insurance is there. Joe and his team would like to help you with any new home or auto quote. Give them a call, 859-234-3813. Joe always supports the Breads and the Fillies, and as we mentioned a week from today, the Joe Cochran State Farming Classic will be taking place here at the Hilltop. Ludlow will break huddle first. 30-second timeout there, charge to the Fillies, and Coach Watson not liking what he's seen. His team looking a little confused out there. And that shot was put up and pinned by Olivia King. Her first trip as she tries to make a three-point attempt here. She has all 4 points for the Lady Panthers. And a little too hard. Ball fought for, and Olivia's going to get her own rebound and it's called for the travel. I don't know if she ever had control of that. Just in case you're curious, she was hitting 42% of free throws going into play today. Brooke Kenny will take it out in front of the stable. Very quiet stable over there. Ball put back into play. Custer tries to get it down the floor, and we got a whistle, and this one against Ludlow. Actually, they're going to say she stepped on the line. That's interesting because the whistle came from completely across the gym. How he saw her outside, I'm not sure. Brooke Kenny back in Custer. Custer pick up by Garrett. Gets it across the half-court line on the left side to bounce past to Allison Dye, who's now in the ball game. She had a good night last night. Into Caroline Van Hook. She'll put it up, and out with the rebound will be Preston King. Allison Dye, a sophomore, picked up her first varsity points last night. Bounce pass across the way. Shot put up about 15 feet out. Not able to make it fall. That time was Olivia King, and Caroline Van Hook will put it out. She'll get it down the floor to King, or to Custer. Custer trying to go right, left, defense staying right on her. She'll fall down, but continues her dribble. Gets it back up front, 5:18, first quarter of play. Harrison still trying to get their first points of the ball game. On the left side, looking to go right, goes down, Van Hook double team, goes up with the shot, off the glass, no good, out with the rebound. That time's Hoffmeister. Hoffmeister with a couple of dribbles. She will then hand off to Mealy Garrett. Garrett gets it down the floor, back to Hoffmeister, who puts it up and in for 2 points. 6-0 your score. Van Hook, cross court to Custer, back to Dye. Dye gets it back to Keely Custer. Custer picked up by King, almost double team now. Tries to get around her, puts up a shot about 10 feet out. No good, fought for, and Kenny will get it back to Van Hook. She'll from the other side will put it up. No good, ball fought for, continues. Linville fights her way out with it. Custer, Dye, long three-pointer, top of the key, misses everything. Van Hook saves it from going out. She saves and gets it to Mealy Garrett. Garrett looking to run. The other side we go. Continues to move the ball down the floor. That's Preston King. And ball back to Garrett. Garrett looking inside. Shot put up. No good. Fought for. And we got a whistle. And this one against Ludlow. And that will be the first against Ludlow. Preston King picks up her first. Harrison County going back to their bench, bringing in Savannah Kennedy. Kennedy will come in for Linville. Ball put back into play. Van Hook tries, and we'll get it across the timeline. Quickly picked up by Garrett. Picks up her dribble, gets it across to Custer. Custer tries to feed Dye. Over feeds her. Dye saves her from going out to Kenny. Kenny back to Custer. As Custer tries to go up with a shot. Got another foul, and this will be King's second. Picked up two quick ones here. 6-0 score, 3:55. Ludlow with the lead. Elisa Stam will come in just a moment for the Lady Panthers after Custer goes to the free throw stripe. Keeley, couple of dribbles, and a little too hard. Harrison County also bringing in Hayden Lunsford.
And for the Fillies, number 12, Lunsford.
Lunsford, a sophomore. Custer will have a second, trying to get that zero off the board. Not been a pretty first quarter. Ball fought for. Kenny gets tangled up with Hoffmeister, and jump ball call. Possession belongs to Harrison County, so Phillies will hang out and take it down into their own basket. Custer looking to get it into play. Custer, Kennedy, Van Hook, Lunsford, and Kenny out there at the moment for the Phillies. Back up front, top of the key. Van Hook will take a step back. The top, puts up a long three-pointer, no good. Out with the rebound, Ludlow Lady Panthers. Amelia Garrett. Garrett wanting to run, goes to the right side, goes around Van Hook, puts it up, no. Ball fought for, and Kennedy is tangled up with Amelia Garrett, and they whistle Garrett for the foul. Garrett not agreeing with the call. Be her first, team third. Ball put back into play. Custer, Kenny. Kenny, Lunsford. Back to Kenny, over to Custer, across the half-court line. Garrett will pick her up. Looking to go to her right side. Custer back to Van Hook. A bounce pass out front to Custer. Garrett hanging right with her. Looking to go to the right. Picks up her dribble, back out front to Van Hook. Van Hook looks to attack, a bounce pass to Kenny. Bill gets it back out, right wing to Keeley. Custer, long three-pointer. Ball fought for, out of bounds it'll go. And off the Harrison County, back into the hands of the Lady Panthers. Harrison County going their full court man-to-man here. Trying to get it back into play. That's Olivia King. Olivia will get stripped by Van Hook as she tries to go in. And it looks like that's going to be Garrett, and it will be. And that'll be Garrett's second. She becomes the second Panther with two. And
That's allowed for the Phillies is Van Hook. She'll be shooting
Caroline Van Hook will go to the free throw stripe, looking for her first points of the day. Couple of dribbles. Senior goes up and cannot get it to fall.
into the line for Ludlow, number 20, Kent.
On the season, Caroline hitting 75% at free throw line. You know all about the Beast Pizza, but did you know they have Snappy Tomato Pizza, has great salads and sandwiches? They do. Had them. Second one will fall in. Snappy Tomato Pizza, calling for dinner tonight at 235-7627, 235-SNAP. Ball put back into play. Ludlow bringing it down. Phillies down by 5 at 6-1. Thrown away. Lunsford looking to go to the other side. She'll feed Van Hook off the glass. Not able to make it fall in. Ball fought for. Kennedy gets tangled up with Stam. And the possession arrow belonging to Ludlow. So the Lady Panthers will take over. 6-1 our score. 2:49 here in the first quarter of play. Ludlow leading the way. King trying to get it down the floor. Gets it back across. Continuing to move the ball down. Ludlow. Continue to move the ball around. And as they do, we got a whistle. This against Harrison County's Van Hooks. The second foul against Harrison County. And Caroline's first. Continue to try to move, and we got yet another whistle, and this one's an offensive whistle, and By the referee's reaction, it will be against Stam. That'll be her first, team's fifth. Ready to get Harrison County coming down. Ludlow back in half-court defense here, so they backed off a little bit. Okay. Sure. Ball brought down the floor. Shot put up no good, and out with the rebound that time is Addie Garrett. Addie looking to bring the ball across the half-court line. She gets it back on the left side. Stam with the shot about 16 feet out. No good. Vanna pulls the rebound down. And at the other end, Lunsford puts up a wild-looking shot, and out with the rebound is Sherry Pence. Pence, a junior. As play comes to a stop, and be Ludlow's ball. They'll take it out in front of their own bench here in just a moment. Pence, a long three-pointer from the left wing, and too hard off the rim. Van Hook gets tangled up with Stam, and possession will belong to Harrison County this time. 6-1 still our score. In fact, this is the first game Pence has seen this year. Ball put back into play. Custard coming across the timeline, looking to go to her right, being guarded by Addie Garrett. Garrett will pick her up, goes to the right, to the left. It was going to 90 seconds. Brooke Kenny went to go up with a shot, and went to pass it, and wherever she was planning on going got blocked, and so she came down, and they'll call the travel, turnover back to Ludlow. Pence will take it out. She'll get it to Addie Garrett. Garrett, just a freshman, comes across the half-court line, looking to the right side, back out front to Stam from around the stripe, up no good. Van Hook comes down with it, and here comes Caroline. Caroline way down the floor to Lunsford. Lunsford goes up over Stam, up and in for two. First field goal to the ball game for Harrison County. That's a lead in half at 6-3 as we hit the 1 minute mark. Garrett looking to the right on the left side. Gets it to Olivia King. Olivia stands and holds the ball over her head. Back across court to Pence. Pence has to go and get it. Lunsford comes and picks her up. Looking to go to the left side. Back to Olivia King. Olivia goes right, then left. Back to Pence. Pence trying to do something with it as we had 40 seconds. Goes back to the top of the key. Timeout call by Coach Clary and the Ludlow Lady Panthers. 38 seconds left here in the first quarter of play. Should give me a chance to tell you about Farm Credit Mid-America. They've been there for the farmers since 1960, and they're 1916. And they are there for you now. Farm Credit Mid-America. Contact Mike Furnish, 859-254-2741, or visit efarmcredit.com. Phillies back in action on Monday night. No, they're not. They're on action on Tuesday night as they make the trip to Bracken County and take on the Lady Polar Bears. Game 7:30. We'll have that on WCYN2's app because the boys will be back here at the Hilltop on Tuesday night. Taking on George Rogers Clark, #1 team in the state, the defending state champs. Olivia King. King backs it to Pence. Pence top of the key on the left side. Gets away with the travel on the left. Hoffmeister, long three-pointer, no good. Stam out with the rebound. Stam throws it away to Custard, and Keeley looking to run. Goes to the left side. Goes around Garrett. Puts it up, no good. Kenny out with the rebound. Gets it back to Van Hook. Van Hook finds Lunsford, long three-pointer. Buries it. And that's a come-up-law three-pointer. Her 5th point of the ball game, ties it up with 10 seconds left, 6-all. On the right side, Ludlow loses the foul called, rather. Whistle, a foul against Addie Garrett. Garrett's first, team 6, and so we're going to walk to the other side and put Kenny at the line. Addison Rowe, the sophomore, will check in for Harrison County as Custard has a seat for the final 4 seconds. Brooke trying to pick up her first point of the ball game.
Also
Harrison County also going to the bench and bringing up Lauren Hicks. Lauren, a freshman. As Van Hook has a seat, trying to make sure they don't pick any cheap fouls. Very quiet in here. Kenny puts it up and cannot get it to fall through. Out with the rebound. Here come the Ludlow Lady Panthers. Shot put up, and it hits off the walls and misses everything. Well, we have played 8 minutes. Don't know much more than we did at the beginning. We're tied to 6-all, Harrison County and Ludlow. You're listening to Harrison County Fillies basketball here on WCYN. Well, back here at the Hilltop as we start the second quarter, and very, very quiet halftime. In fact, you can hear Coach Watson pretty much giving instructions. Get ready to get the second quarter underway. Tied at 6-all. Ludlow will get things going. Addie Garrett. Garrett gets it to Custer. Back at the Pence. Pence looking to go inside, and she'll be fouled, and it looks like Lunsford will pick up her first. And it will be third team foul in the first half. Olivia King getting ready to throw the ball back in. King taking it out into the Ludlow basket. Harrison County's defense hanging with her. Addie Garrett has to go and get it. Van Oak will pick her up. King goes around trying to get around the defense, and she's called for the travel. And she went down pretty hard and is grabbing left ankle. And both clubs will head back to the coaches while Coach Clary makes her way out and the trainer makes her way out to see what's going on with her ankle. It's a call for the travel, so Harrison County will take the ball back when we get the game back underway. Mila Garrett checked in the ball game. Garrett averaging 14 points on the season for Ludlow, and as I say that, she has set a lot of the first quarter simply because of foul trouble with a couple of fouls. 7:42, we're in the second quarter. Your Cynthiana Hardee's wants you to visit them for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. US 27 South, the Cynthiana made from scratch biscuits, never frozen burgers, and many other great options in Hardee's. Addie Garrett will come up. She is walking on that, so we may see her later in the ball game. I mentioned call for the travel. She was kind of going through a maze of about 4 or 5 of the Fillies to try to get to the basket that time. 6-all our score, 7:42, Harrison County and Ludlow. Mentioned Mila Garrett did check in, the senior. A couple of seniors on this ball club. 6 juniors. Only 1 sophomore, the rest freshmen. Ball put back into play. Keeley brings the ball down. Custer gets it to Linville, who's checked back in, looking to go inside to Lunsford. Lunsford puts up a wild shot. Pence comes out with the rebound, and she'll quickly get it back to Mila Garrett. Garrett down the floor, gets it into the hands of Preston King, and as King tried to go baseline, got yet another foul. This one against Harrison County, and this will be Caroline Van Hook's second, team 4th. Olivia King trying to get it back into play. Olivia gets it back out front to Garrett. Garrett looking inside, back to King. Long three-pointer, no good. Out with the rebounds Lunsford. Hayden gets the ball down the floor to Custer. Custer looking to go right, then left. Gets met by a couple of defenders. Feeds Kenny on the right or left wing. Misses everything, and out with the rebound will be Ludlow. Olivia King. King gets it back out front. Garrett to Pence. Pence looking to go inside, about 10 feet out. No good. Ball continues to be fought for, and as Olivia King came out with it, tries to go up. We got a tie-up called. Possession will belong to Ludlow. A lot of confused faces on the floor on that tie-up. 6-all score, 6:52 left to play in the first half. Checking in the ball game is Elisa Stam. Stam saw a little action in the first quarter. This Pence has a seat for Ludlow. Ball put back into play. Micaiah Pence now in the ball game. Pence kicks it back out front. Garrett long three-pointer, no good. Rebound, Custard. Custard gets it to Kenny. And she'll slow things down. Let everybody kind of get down the floor. She'll come up, go down, and back to Van Hook. Van Hook trying to set up the defense. Hoffmeister picking her up. Gets it back to Custer. Custer trying to back her man down. Puts up a shot. She does. Garrett gets a hand on it, and coming out with it, Stam. Stam feeds Garrett. Garrett way down the floor we go. This to Olivia King. Olivia will set up the offense. Back out front to Garrett. Garrett looking to the right. Goes to King, and got a 3-second call inside the lane. With the turnover, ball put back into Harrison County hands. $6 score. Everybody looking for the first point here in second quarter. Custer brings it across the timeline, looking to the right. Bounce pass over to Kenny. Kenny gets away from her man, gets it to Van Hook. Van Hook back out front to Linville. Linville with the free throw stripe. Up, rolls in and back out. No good. Garrett out with the rebound. Garrett looking to run. Way down the floor we go to Stam. She leads her too much. And as it was going out of bounds, Lunsford gets a hand on it. So it will be Ludlow ball. Trying to save it from going out. Harrison County going back to the bench. Lauren Hicks, the freshman, will come in as Van Hook has a seat with her 2 fouls. Olivia King getting ready to try to get the ball back into play. King will find Garrett down in the left corner. Tries to go around Hicks. Back out front we go. Olivia King, long three-pointer, too hard. Ball loose and Lunsford out with it. Hayden wanting to run. Goes to the other end of the floor, off the glass, no good. And Hoffmeister out with the rebound. She'll feed Garrett, and Garrett wants to go to the other side, so she'll bring the ball down on the left side. Gets tangled up with Custer, puts up the shot, and up and in for 2. Her first points of the ball game and breaks the tie 8-6. Custer brings the ball down the floor. Looking to her left. Continues to try to go inside, picks up her dribble, and goes outside to Linville. Linville took that little stutter step right in front of the official, and he calls the travel, and with 5:07 left, the ball will go back to Ludlow. If you're fed up, call Canup. Canup Law promises to treat you with care, respect, and dignity in whatever legal situation you may find yourself in. Give Brian and his team a call. Visit them at canuplaw.com. Long three-pointer put up by Garrett. Too hard, no good. Linville goes up for the rebound. Olivia King's going to get tangled up with her. And with the foul, we'll walk to the other end. Harrison County's in the bonus. That's Olivia's first. Team's 7th. Or team's 8th, rather. So it's...
That's a lot for the Fillies. Will be Linville shooting 1 in the bonus.
So put Katie Linville at the line, looking for her first shot of the night. One in the bonus here. And once again, gets very quiet. Shot put up, no good. Garrett out with a rebound. Garrett looking to go to the other side. That's King. King feeds Hoffmeister, puts it up, no good. Rebound, rolls around. Kenny gets tangled up. Gets tangled up with Micaiah Pence. And with the tie-up, possession belongs to Harrison County. Van Hook back in for Hicks. And Kenny gets the ball back, put into play. Custer slowly coming down the floor as we're quickly approaching halfway through the second quarter. Custer back to Van Hook down on the left wing. Back out front to Linville. Linville looking to do something. Finally goes to Brooke Kenny. Kenny finds Custard. And 3 seconds called against Lunsford and Harrison County. And so with the turnover, the ball will go back to Ludlow. Sherry Pence will come back in. Harrison County counters with Hicks. Van Hook has a seat. And Olivia King has a seat. Bring the ball down the floor. Garrett, Neely Garrett on the right side will find Pence. Pence back out to Garrett. Across the way, Hoffmeister with a long three-pointer. Misses everything. Rebound Sam. Sam gets it back to Pence. She'll fire from the right side, and we got yet another whistle. Who do we call this one? This was against Ludlow. And it's 24, and 24 would be Micaiah Pence. That's Micaiah Pence's first, so we'll walk to the other end of the floor. And the way the fouls are being called, and Harrison County right now in the bonus, we may have a long second quarter with 4:11 left to play. Hicks will go to the line, looking for her first point of the night. And will not fall through. Out with the rebounds, Micaiah Pence. She'll feed Garrett. Garrett looking to the left side, where she'll find Sherry Pence. Pence, a long three-pointer, no good. Out with the rebound is Brooke Kenny. Kenny bringing the ball down the floor, gives up to Custard. She comes across the half-court line. Looking to go to the right side. Custard going down, takes her man down. Right, left, puts it up, no good. Out with the rebounds, Garrett. Garrett looking to get the ball down the floor. Stay with us. Halftime being brought to you this afternoon by Joe Cochran and State Farm Insurance. Bringing the ball down the floor. Lunsford goes up, and she'll lose the ball, turns it over as Pence comes out with it. Hands off to Garrett. On the left side, Garrett, Pence, back to Garrett. Garrett top of the key. Custard loosely on her. Back of the left side is Stam. Stam back to Pence. Pence looking to go across the way to Hoffmeister. As she does, Kenny will intercept. Brooke bringing the ball down the floor. 3-on-1. Puts up the shot and up and in for two. Her first basket of the ball game, and we're tied at 8-all at the 3-minute mark. Garrett bringing the ball down the floor. First basket of the ball of the second quarter for Harrison County. Sam gets it down. Garrett, long three-pointer, too hard. Linville out with the rebound, and here come the Fillies. Looking to go down on the left side. That's Hicks. Hicks gets it across the timeline. Stains on the half-court line when she passes it to Custard. Keeley looking to go left side. Gets it back to Kenny. One dribble out to Custard. Custard bringing it out. Looking to set up the offense here. Garrett will pick her up. Custard, a couple of dribbles. Finds Hicks out on the right corner. Back out front to Linville. Linville, a couple of dribbles. Picks up her dribble. Goes back to Lunsford. Lunsford will find Hicks. Hicks looking inside. Hoffmeister hanging with her. Picks up her dribble back to Custard. Keeley looking to go inside. And tries to feed. Linville overshoots her. Hoffmeister out with it. The other end we go Micaiah Pence, and she'll put it up no good. And yet another whistle. And there's one against Hicks. It's Lauren's first. And that will put Pence at the line. Looking for her first point of the ball game. She'll have two here. Shooting foul. Pence's first trip to the stripe this season. Puts it up no good. She'll have a second one. Harrison County bringing Van Hook back in. As Custard has a seat. We got wholesale changes in for Ludlow. Keeley Huff, freshman, will check in wearing the number 32. We'll get you the rest of them here in a moment. Second shot, no good. And we got another foul underneath. Also out there is Micaiah Pence. She stayed in. He'll walk to the other end of the floor. Foul was against Ludlow. Lily Dinart, that's her, picked up the foul. So put Linville at the line. Up and in. Her first point of the ball game puts Harrison County with their first lead, 9-8 at the 2:05 mark. Custard back in for Van Hook. As we said, Dinart in. She is joined out there also by Keeley Huff. I'll get you the rest of the lineup here in a moment. Linville with her second shot. A little too hard that time. And out with the rebound will be Ludlow. Amelia Garrett staying in there, looking to the right side. She's joined by Olivia King. Garrett looking to go inside. Shot put up, no good. Fought for, continues to roll around loose on the floor, and finally Ludlow picks it up. King along three-pointer, no. Over the back, no call. Ball continues to be moved. Garrett comes out. Kenny falls down. Gets it back with the rebound. Another shot put up and in for two. And that time, that was Dinart. Dinart's first. 10-9. Ludlow goes back out in front with 1:28 left to play here in the first half. Custer comes in across the half-court line. Garrett picks her up. Kenny with the bounce pass. And she just gets stripped. Garrett just takes it away, leads everybody up and in for two. Nice play. Her fourth point. 12-9. Three-point lead. 1:05 left to play. Ball thrown in. Linville, a couple of dribbles. Custer will receive it as we go into a minute. Custer back out to Linville. Linville out on the right wing. Bounce pass out front to Kenny. Custer looking inside, and as they do, she tried to feed Hicks, and she did. She was surrounded by about four black jerseys. And picking up the foul by Dinehart, and that's her second. Comes a third Panther with two. Lauren Hicks goes back to the line. She's 0 for 1 there this afternoon. Getting ready to check in, back in, and I'll wait till they say that she's definitely in. Hicks, a couple of dribbles. Up and in. Brings the Phillies within two. Preston King checks in. Also, Addie Garrett checks in. Harrison County also going to their bench. And bringing back Addison Rowe, who got in for a couple minutes. Second shot, bounces everywhere, and then finally falls through. Nice job. 12-11, Harrison County down by a point. Olivia King across court is where she will find Addie Garrett. Long three-pointer, no good. Hayden Lunsford out with the rebound. She give it to Linville, and I'm sure Coach Watson does not want to see Linville bringing the ball down the floor. And finally, she will get it to Hicks. Hicks gets it to Lunsford. Long three-pointer. It's the side of the rim. Out with the rebound. That time is Keely Huff. Huff gets it down. Across out to King. King back out front to Garrett. 10 seconds. Continue to move the ball around. Long three-pointer put up by Garrett, and she'll bury it. Her 7th point. 15-11, and that is the way the first half will go in the books. Ludlow leading 15-11 here at halftime. And we'll remind you that it may be difficult to understand everything your teenager has to say, but with Dustin Rose, Amy Davis, the Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, at least it's easy to get great insurance. Call them at 859-234-4514, 234-4514, and Dustin and Amy will help you tell you what your teenager has to say. 15-11 here at the half. Harrison County trailing. We're going to step out. When we return, we'll begin the halftime report. You're listening to Harrison County Phillies basketball on WCYN. Well, back here at the Hilltop at the half, sees Ludlow, who has led the majority of the ball game. We did see Harrison County go by a point in that second quarter. But outside of that, it's been pretty much Ludlow leading the way, 15-11, your halftime score. Halftime report being brought to you this afternoon by Joe Cochran and State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Joe Cochran and his team at State Farm is there for you. Get a new home or auto quote with Joe by calling 859-234-3813. Mentioned next Saturday right here at the Hilltop will be the Joe Cochran State Farm Classic. Learn more about that on Friday's edition of Coffee Break. Well, as we mentioned what's going on with the Fillies here this afternoon. The Reds are back in action later tonight around 6 o'clock. They will be taking the floor about an hour or so. They'll be up at Bracken County as a part of the 9th, 10th Region Classic, taking on Boone County. As we said, the Rebels always a dangerous team, regardless of what the sport is. And that's what Coach Brooks and his troops are this evening. Well, let's take a look of how the first half broke down. First for Ludlow. Very low scoring first half. They were led in scoring by Mealy Garrett. Garrett was 7 points, and she does lead the team averaging 14 points going into play, all 7 of those coming in that second quarter. Also, the rest of the scoring, Olivia King with 4 points, those coming in the first quarter. Eva Hoffmeister with a couple of points in that first quarter. 2 points for Lillian Deinhardt with a couple. And Micaiah Pence going 0 for 2 at the free throw stripe. There's a team, Ludlow 0 for 3 at the free throw line in the first half. Did have 1 3-pointer for the ball club. As far as Harrison County goes, as we take a look at their numbers, they are led in scoring by Hayden Lunsford. Lunsford with 5 points, including 1 big 3-pointer, all coming in that first quarter. Rest of the scoring, 2 points for Brooke Kinney. Brooke 0 for 1 at the free throw stripe. Caroline Van Hook has 1 point, 1 for 2 at the free throw stripe coming in that first quarter. Lauren Hicks off the bench, 2 for 3 at the stripe to count for her 2 points. And Katie Linville 1 for 3 at the stripe to count for her 1 point here tonight. Harrison County on the night has 1 3-pointer. Been to the free throw stripe 10 times, hitting 4 out of 10 at the free throw line in that first half of play. As far as the foul situation goes, as we take a look first for Ludlow, they have 3 players with 2, that being Preston King, Lillian Deinhardt, and Mealy Garrett, all with 2 apiece. 1 for Olivia King, Elisa Stam with 1, Addie Garrett with 1, and Micaiah Pence off the bench with 1 tonight as well. As far as Harrison County goes, they have 1 player with 2, that being Caroline Van Hook, Lauren Hicks, Keely Custard, and Hayden Lunsford, all with a foul apiece here in the first half of play. Halftime being brought to you by Joe Cochran and State Farm Insurance right there on Main Street. Give Joe and his team a call, 859-234-3813. 234-3813. Do a great job down there. Took very good care of me earlier this year. And I had a car right into my car. As we mentioned, taking a look as far as the schedule goes, we mentioned the Reds in action later tonight. Catch that on WCY 1400 AM, 101.3 FM, as well as our WCYN app tonight. They're back here at the Hilltop this Tuesday night. The defending state champions, number 1 team in the state, the Cardinals of George Rogers Clark, will be here Tuesday night. Game time 7:30, pregame is 7:15. That will be on the YouTube side of things on Tuesday night. Then next Friday night, Henry Clay comes calling. The Blue Devils always an interesting ball club out of the 11th region. That'll be next Friday night. And then a week from today, the Joe Cochran State Farm Classic. As the Reds at 4:30 will take on John Hardin. That's next Saturday. As far as schedules with the 2 teams we're watching, first for the Lady Panthers of Ludlow, as we take a look at their schedule. This year, as mentioned, 2-2. They have had a couple of big wins. They knocked off Boone County 51-39 and knocked off Holmes 52-36. Did fall the first 2 games of the season to Grant County and Bishop Brossard. After tonight, they're back in action on Tuesday night. They'll be at home as they take on Bellevue. That should be an interesting matchup. That'll be Bellevue and Ludlow on Tuesday night. The next Friday night, they make the trip to Dayton. And then a week from today, they'll be at home at 3:30 as they take on Williamstown and the Lady Braves. As far as this Harrison County Philly Ball Club goes, after tonight, they're back in action on Tuesday night. Be making the trip to Bracken County. Now, we'll have that one here on WCYN2's app on Tuesday night. Game time 7:30, Bracken County, Lady Polar Bears, and the Phillies. Friday night, they'll remain on the roads. They make the trip up 27 to take on Paris and the Lady Greyhounds. That's also at 7:30 tip-off. And so that is the way their schedule looks as well. On a week from Monday, they get to make the trip to Paris. Actually, that's a week from Monday. So Tuesday and Friday of next week. Friday nights when they're making the trip to Paris. They return to the Hilltop a week from Monday against Western Hills. I think that's the way the schedule looks, if you haven't confused everybody there. Halftime being brought to you by Joe Cochran and State Farm Insurance, as we'll get ready to get the second half underway here in just a matter of moments. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to step out, and we'll return. When we get ready to return, we'll have more action here from the Hilltop. Our score at halftime, Ludlow 15, Harrison County 11. You're listening to Harrison County Fillies basketball on WCYN. Well, back here at the Hilltop, 15-11 our score. Ludlow will come out of the locker room first as they'll continue to shoot up and continue to warm up. Harrison County still in the locker room, and Coach Watson leading the troops as they come out of the locker room here at halftime. And just by the reaction, I would say they got a stern talking to because they did not look happy. And after what we saw in the first half, I can kind of understand why. 15-11 our score. Very low scoring ball game here tonight. Harrison County came in averaging a little over 26 points, and Ludlow came in averaging a little over 27 points. So kind of knew it was going to be a low scoring ball game. Both clubs around their coaches, and we'll get ready to get this game back underway here in just a matter of moments. Harrison County countering with their starting lineup. Bailey Hudgens out there, Keely Custard, Brooke Kinney, Caroline Van Hook, and Katie Linville. I would assume, but don't want to do that until we know for sure what Ludlow's lineup looks like. So getting last minute instructions. The Fillies making their way out. Be Ludlow ball when we start the second half of play. Mealy Garrett. She'll be joined out there by Olivia King, also Addie Garrett, Preston King, and Ieva Hoffmeister. So it was back to the starting lineup for the Lady Panthers. Ball put back into play. Mealy Garrett looking will pick up her dribble out on the right wing. Custer picks her up across the way to Olivia King, out to Hoffmeister, back over to Garrett. Garrett looking to go to her left after a dribble. Back to King, long three-pointer, no good. Out with the rebounds, Linville. Katie hands off to Van Hook. Van Hook looking, she brings the ball down the floor, hands it off, and she comes across the half-court line to Custard. Keeley looking to go to her right, a bounce pass to Kenny. Brooke back out front to Linville. Linville top of the key. Looking underneath, she'll find Van Hook. Van Hook gets bumped pretty hard, no call. Back over to the right side to Custard. Hudgens, long three-pointer, and buries it, and that's a Knopplaw three-pointer. Her 8th point of the ball game. No, it's not. That's Bailey's first basket of the ball game. 15-14, Ludlow still by a point. On the right side, King looking inside. She'll find King, who was by herself. She'll put up a shot, no good. Linville goes to the floor, but comes up with the rebound, feeds Van Hook. Harrison County up 3-2 as far as numbers go. Van Hook pulls up around the stripe, puts it up and in for two. And Harrison County will take the lead here. 30 points now for Van Hook, 16-15. Whatever Coach Watson said has got him a little awake. Back out front we go. Long three-pointer put up that time by King. No good. Rebound by Ludlow. They'll put it back up, and as King goes back up, she's fouled by Harrison County. If that's against Van Hook, which it will be, that's her third.
King should be shooting 2.
That'll put Olivia King at the line. She's 0 for 1 there today. Does have 4 points overall, trying to tie the ball game up. And she's not able to do it on the first shot, but she'll have a second. 6:37, barely underway here in the third quarter. Stay with us after the game. During our post-game report, we'll be joined by Harrison County coaches as well as named the Judy Construction player of the ball game. Free throw falls through, 16 all our score. Third time in the game we've had time. Back into play we go. Harrison County moving the ball down the floor. Van Hook goes to Custard. Custard 5 feet out, up, no good. Ball fought for and out with a rebound that time was Mealy Garrett, and as Garrett tries to come down, and a whistle against Harrison County. Hayden Lunsford back in the ball game for Van Hook. Van Hook's going to have to sit with those 3 fouls. Garrett gets it thrown in to her by King. Garrett bringing the ball down the floor. Comes over the left side, gets it back to King. Olivia stands and holds the ball, gets it back out to Garrett. Garrett back out to Preston King. Preston a couple of dribbles, picks up her dribble, and then goes over the right side. She'll find Addie Garrett. Garrett misses up a shot, misses everything. Hayden Lunsford out with the rebound. Hayden had a big first quarter and has been very quiet since then. Looking to go right, then left. Garrett hanging with her. Garrett staying right with her. Lunsford continues to try to move the ball in. Goes right, left, loses her man. Nearly loses the ball. Puts up a shot, which Ludlow gets a hand on it, knocks it out of bounds. Van Hook back in quickly as Lunsford has a seat. 16 all our score, 5:42 here in the third quarter. Harrison County and Ludlow. Hudgens gets it to Van Hooks by herself, puts it up and in for 2. Harrison County back out in front, 18-16. On the right side, coming across is Addie Garrett. Garrett way to Hoffmeister. Van Hook intercepts. Caroline looking to run. Comes down the right side, goes around the defender, gets it across court to Custer. Custer gets it back out front to Hudgens. Bailey goes down and cannot get it to fall through. 18-16. Harrison County with a 2-point lead. Mealy Garrett bringing the ball down on the left side. She'll find Addie Garrett. Addie looking to go back inside. Goes down inside. She will feed Preston King, and as King goes up, we've got a foul against the Harrison County. And that one against Katie Linville, and that's her first. Van Hook has a seat. Lunsford comes back in. Olivia King trying to get it in under the Ludlow basket. She'll find Hoffmeister, who goes up and misses. Hoffmeister, her own rebound, ball loose, rolls around on the floor. King kicks it back out front, gets it back out to Addie Garrett, who puts up a wild-looking shot off the backboard, and Lunsford out with the rebound. It's double team, tries and will throw it away. Gets it back across to Mealy Garrett. Garrett goes up and in for 2.
Ludlow basket, King.
Okay, King apparently doing that. I thought that was Garrett. The ball put back into play. 18 all our score. We got a whistle out front. Foul call against Olivia King. That's her second. Becomes the 4th Panther with 2. Van Hook in for Lunsford, and Harrison County will take it out around half court. 18 our score. 18-18. Ball put back. Well, trying to get into play with Kenny, and as she does, Garrett gets a hand on and knocks it out of bounds. $18 her score. Gets it back to Custer. Custer trying to get the ball down the floor on the right side. Gets it back inside. Linville tries to feed Van Hook. It's volley back to the left side to Kenny. Kenny back out to Linville. Linville will bounce past to Van Hook. Back to Kenny. Brooke puts up a long three-pointer, no good. And now with the rebound will be Ludlow. Mealy Garrett bringing the ball down the floor. Miley looking across court. Gets it to Addie Garrett. Garrett comes down and just loses a handle on it, and she can't believe a travel was called. She looked completely out of control that time. Hudgens will ready to throw it in under the Ludlow basket. Ludlow back to a full court defense. They'll find Keeley Custard back to Hudgens. Bailey trying to get around the defense. Continue having some issues and gets it across. Goes down underneath the Van Hook. Caroline up and in for two. Her 6th point here in the second half. That's 7 overall. 20-18. Phillies back up by a point at 3:38. King looks and almost throws it away. Coming back up with it is Preston King, and as Preston goes up, technical call against Ludlow. And foul called against King, and a technical called on her.
Technical foul has been assisted to Ludlow.
So that'll be her 3rd. She becomes the first Panther with 3. I don't know whether she said something she shouldn't have said or exactly why the technical was called, but whatever it was, the official didn't. And Coach Clary wanting an explanation. You got to. And we'll go to the other end and shoot some free throws. Van Hook will go to the line shooting those free throws. So once again, we'll get very, very quiet here at the gym. Up and in. Caroline having a very good 3rd quarter, her 7th point. Phillies up with their biggest lead at 21-18 over Ludlow. 3:32 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. She'll bury that one as well. Like a good neighbor, Joe Cochran and his State Farm team is there for you. Get a new home or auto quote, call Joe at 859-234-3813. So Harrison County will take the ball out as well. Up by 4. Looking for win number 1 on the year. Ball put back into play. Linville on the right wings. Picked up her dribble. Will finally find Brooke Kenny. Kenny back out front to Keeley Custard. Custard bounce pass out to Kenny. Brooke across the way. Top of the key to Linville. Linville looking inside. One dribble. Then ends up throwing the ball away. Coming out with it's Addie Garrett. Garrett looking to go over Hudgens. And as she does, Hudgens is going to get her. And that'll be Bailey's first. And the act of shooting, and that's going to put Addie Garrett at the line.
Addie Garrett, shooting 2.
She'll have a couple of shots, and she was in the act of shooting. A little too hard, and this is the first one. Addie, 16 out of 23. Man, she has been to the line quite a bit in the first 4 games. And for the first point on the night. A little too hard that time, and Brooke Kenny goes and gets the rebound. Other end we go. It's Custard. Custard over Hoffmeister. Hoffmeister just takes it away from her. And we'll kick to Pinch. Sherry Pinch back in the ball game. Back to Garrett. Miley Garrett coming down on the right side. She'll throw the ball away. Hudgens will intercept. Other end we go. She feeds Brooke Kenny. Her and Hoffmeister tangle up and out of bounds off of Hoffmeister. Should be Harrison County ball. 22-18, 2:49 left to play. Timeout on the floor, and we'll see if it's a 30 or a 60. 30 seconds, which will give us a chance. Give us a chance to tell you about Snappy Tomato Pizza. You know about their Beast Pizza, but don't forget about Snappy's great salads and sandwiches. Give them a call tonight at 235-7627. That's 235.
Snap.
Good job. I think you did a better job than Ryan.
Thank you.
Snappy Tomato Pizza, as we mentioned, right there on Main Street. 2:49 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Harrison County with their biggest lead they've had of the night. Mentioned the Phillies, not a good night last night against Scott, looking to try to get on the winning side of things. And Ludlow 2-2 on the year. They are trying to break that 500 mark here tonight. Winning their last 2. Now about a half an hour or so. Brez in action up in Bracken County to take on Boone. Ball put back into play. Beautifully done. Van Hook didn't get it to fall through. She'll get her own rebound, puts it up and in. Harrison County throwing it in. finding Van Hook by herself. She put the first shot up, could not get it to fall. Got her own rebound, puts it up and in for two. Other end we go. Pence a long three-pointer. Sherry Pence misses it. Van Hook brings the ball down. Caroline bringing the ball down on the right side. Hudgens with a long three-pointer from the right side. And as the ball comes down, got a whistle, and that went against Harrison County. That's Custer, and that's her second. So Ludlow will take the ball over. Custer will have a seat as Hayden Lunsford checks back in. On the right side and bringing the ball down. Garrett. Garrett gets it to Pence. Pence long three-pointer. No good. Hoffmeister out with the rebound. Van Hook all over her. Back out front. Go back to King. Back to Hoffmeister. About 16 feet out. No. With the rebounds, Caroline Van Hook. Van Hook way down the floor we go to Lunsford. Hayden goes up and cannot get it to fall. Linville with the rebound up and no. Rebound fought for. Hoffmeister out with it. Back to Pence. Pence down the floor. Continuing to try to move. Here's Garrett. Garrett to King. King to Pence. Pence right wing up and no. Too hard. King rebound up, no. Hoffmeister up and gets it to fall through. Her fourth point of the ball game makes it 24-20. Timeout on the floor, which will give us another chance to let you know about Mike Furnish and Farm Credit Mid-America. They've been here for farmers since 1916, and they're here for you now. Farm Credit Mid-America. Mike Furnish at 859-254-2741 or visit them at efarmcredit.com. 24-20. We're in the third quarter. 1:37 left to play here in the third quarter. Fillies leading on Caroline Van Hook. Van Hook finding her scoring here at halftime. 10 points in the third quarter. That's 11 overall. Mind you that Tuesday night, we're back on the WCYN2 app on Tuesday. As the Fillies will take to the road, taking on the Lady Polar Bears in Bracken County to get back into region play. Friday night, make the trip to Paris. That also here on the app. They return to the Hilltop a week from Monday as a part of the opening of the 2A tournament, taking on Western Hills. Lady Wolverines will be at the Hilltop that night. 24-20, Harrison County with the ball. They'll take it out into the Ludlow basket. Ludlow still in their full-court defense. Kenny gets it back into play to Keeley Custard. Back to Kenny. Kenny will find Van Hook. Back to Custard, still trying to get it across the half-court line. They'll do just that. Hudgens long three-pointer from the left side, a little too hard. Van Hook out with the rebound. She'll bring it back out and gets it back to Custard to Kenny. Kenny, Hudgens. Hudgens looking to go inside. Back to the right. Brings it back out front. Looking to go to the left. Loses a handle on it, but goes and gets the ball. Penn stays with her to Van Hook. Van Hook right, left, up, no. Rebound into Garrett's hands as we hit the 1 minute mark. Garrett brings it down on the right side. Garrett goes up and is fouled on the way to the basket. Misses a shot and a whistle against Linville, and that's her second. That should and will put Garrett at the line.
At the line for Ludlow, number 11, Miley Garrett, should be shooting 2.
Miley's first trip to the line here tonight. She does have 7 points. All those coming in that second quarter. Too hard. Not able to make it fall through. Makes her 6 for 12 at the half-court line after that attempt. 50%. And that one too hard as well. Van Hook comes out with it. Caroline. Back to Brooke Kenny. Over to Bailey Hudgens. Back out front. So we'll find Custard. Keeley looking to go to her right. Garrett hanging right with her. Tries to go underneath, and as she does, yet another whistle against Ludlow. And that one against Garrett. That's Garrett's third. She becomes the second Lady Panther with 3. As she joins Preston King with those 3. Ball put back into Brooke Kenny's hands. We hit 40 seconds. Hudgens feeds Van Hook. Custer long three-pointer. No good. Out with the rebound. Well, Kenny tried to come out with it, and it ends up out of bounds. And Ludlow ball. Stam checks back in for the Lady Panthers. Lunsford will counter with Harrison County. King gets it into Garrett. Garrett's bringing the ball down the floor. We at the 30-second mark. Right side, King. King. Long three-pointer from the right wing. She'll bury it. For 10th point. 24-23. Phillies still up by a point. Van Hook brings the ball down. Ludlow almost stripping him of it. Gets it down to Hudgens. Hudgens long three-pointer. Van Hook up and in for two. Phillies back up by three. And a long shot thrown up at the other end. Misses everything, and we have officially played three. Harrison County leading the way. 26-23 at the end of three. Stay with us. Fourth quarter coming up. Harrison County leading Ludlow. You'll listen to Harrison County Phillies basketball on WCYM. Well, we get ready to start the fourth quarter of play. 26-23, Harrison leading the way. Phillies taking that third quarter 15-8, behind 12 points of Caroline Van Hook. Caroline with 14 here in the ball game. Stay with us. Following the game, we'll have our post-game report. We'll be joined by Harrison County coaching staff, as well as name the Judy Construction Player of the game. All that coming up during the post-game report here this afternoon. Bailey Hudgens trying to get it into play. She will find Custard in the backcourt. And as soon as she gets it, she'll come across and picked up by Garrett. Garrett looking to go left. Continues to try to go down on the right side to Lunsford. Lunsford picks up her dribble, underhands it to Linville. Linville to Custard. Custard very quiet tonight. Puts it up, no good. Van Hook tries to go up with it, and then she does. She'll be fouled from behind. And that whistle against Olivia King, her third. Team's fourth of the half. Hudgens finds Linville underneath, puts it up, no good. Fought for. Bailey comes out with it. Nicely done, and then almost throws it away. Van Hook then comes out with it. Back to Hudgens, long three-pointer from the right side, misses. Out with the rebounds, Van Hook. She is hugged that time by Hoffmeister. And the official says, yeah, you can't hug her in the middle of the ball game, and that'll be Hoffmeister's first, team's fifth. Phillies still up by three. Barely underway here in the fourth. Thrown into Van Hook. Caroline out on the left wing. And down the lane, up and in for two. Caroline, our Judy Construction Player of the game last night. And the way she's played in the second half, she's well on her way to possibly picking up the second one. Shot put up by Garrett. No good. Out with the rebound, Ludlow. And as she does, Brooke Kinney's going to get her, and that'll be Brooks first. That's team 7, so we'll see Ludlow go to the line the rest of the way. And this puts Hoffmeister at the line. Her first trip there tonight, she does have 4 points. And we're averaging 5. And Rosanna back out. She'll have another. Back in is Preston King. And she will come in for Addie Garrett. Hoffmeister, couple of dribbles. And Rosen back out. Van Hook out with the rebound. On the left side, Bailey Hudgens. Hudgens looking to go in, puts it off for the last for two. Her 5th point. Harrison up by their biggest lead of 7, 30-23. Back over across the way to King. King on the right wing, looking to go across. Van Hook intercepts, and here come the Phillies. Van Hook comes down, feeds Custard by herself, up and in for two. Nice play. That's the way you draw it up. Custer's first basket of the ball game. 32-23, Phillies up by 9. Timeout call by Ludlow. Cynthiana Hardee's wants you to visit them for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. US 27 South of Cynthiana, made from scratch biscuits, never frozen burgers, and many other great options at Hardee's in Cynthiana. Well, there's 6:39 left to play here this afternoon. Harrison County trying to pick up win number 1 on this year's campaign. And Coach Bill Watson's first win as a Harrison County coach. Phillies back in action on Tuesday, making the trip to Bracken County to take on the Lady Polar Bears. We'll have that here on WCY2's app on Tuesday night. On Friday night, making the trip to Paris to take on the Lady Hounds. Ball getting ready to put back into play. Ludlow will take it out into the Harrison County basket. That's Olivia King. Gets it on down to Garrett. Miley Garrett looking to go baseline. Goes up and goes underneath and turns around to Stam, who puts it up and in for 2. Stam about 10 feet out. Her first bucket. 32-25. Phillies still with the lead. Ball almost thrown away. Got a tie-up between Ludlow and Harrison County. And with the tie-up, possession arrow belongs to Ludlow. They'll take it under their own basket. Try, and we'll get it into Garrett. Garrett hands off to, doesn't hand off to King, hangs on to it, and goes down baseline, goes up, and she puts a shot up. She's fouled. That's Brooke Kenny, picks up her second. Comes the fourth Philly with 2. Garrett going to the line. She's 0 for 2 there. Miley Garrett 0 for 2 there. That's 7 points overall. And make that 8 as she'll sink that one. She'll have another. 6:13 left to play. 32-26. And a tight game throughout. A little too hard, and Hoffmeister will get it back to Garrett, who throws it away. I think she was shooting, and Harrison County got a hand on it, but Linville came down with it. Van Hook feeds Hudgens. Hudgens tries to go up, and if she does, Garrett's going to get her. And that will be her 4th. She becomes the first for either ball club with 4.
At the line for the Phillies, the 23, Hutchins.
Hudgens will go to the line.
Shooting 2.
First trip there tonight. That's 5 points. Amy averaging 3. Couple of dribbles for the sophomore, up and in. 15th attempt for Harrison County at the free throw line here tonight. She'll bury it. Makes them 8 out of 15 at the line. Garrett bringing the ball down, 34-26. Phillies up by 8. They've led by as many as 9 here in the 4th. Preston King out front. Gets it back to Hoffmeister, back to King. King stands, tries to go inside, nearly throws it away, but Hoffmeister's able to retrieve it. Back to King. Back to Hoffmeister. She's left alone from the right corner. A long three-pointer, no good. Rebound to Olivia King. King and Kenny get tied up, and jump ball, and possession belongs to Harrison County. Ball put back into play. Keeley gets it back over to Hudgens. Hudgens on the right side. Hands off to Custard. Custard right. Bounce pass out to Kenny. Kenny underhands it to Linville. Linville tries and feeds Van Hook with about 3 defenders on her. Puts it up. Not able to get to fall through. And out with the rebound that time is King, Preston King. King gets it back across court to Garrett. And Miley looking to run. Comes down, puts it in. Puts it up. Doesn't get it to fall in. Brooke Kenny out with the rebound. And she'll feed to Custer. Keeley brings it across. Keeley picked up by Garrett. Looking to the right side. Bounce pass to Hudgens. Hudgens being guarded by Hoffmeister. Into Van Hook. Caroline back out to Hudgens. Hudgens around the stride. Puts it up and no. Could not get it to fall. Garrett out with the rebound. And here come the Lady Panthers. Panthers bring the ball down on the right side. Hands off this time to King. King gets tangled up with Hudgens. Bailey really bailing her out because that was more of King getting tangled up with her than Hudgens tangled up with her. It's Bailey's second. Pence back in
And number 20, Pence.
for Lady Panthers.
At the line for Ludlow.
Actually, they bring in both Pences. Micaiah Pence, the senior, and she is joined also out there by Sherry Pence. King puts it up and in for her first trip to the free throw line. She'll have another one. Back to a 7-point lead. Up and in. Makes her 3 for 5 at the stripe tonight. Kenny gets it back to Van Hook. Caroline coming down. Pence trailing her. Bounce pass to Linville, up and in for 2. Nice play. Her first field goal of the night, 3 points for Katie. Garrett back out front to King. King looking to go inside. Just runs over the top of Brooke Kenny. And Garrett got hit pretty hard. And trainer's going to come out to see her. Now, I'm still waiting on the official call. She got hit in the throat after that tie-up, so trying to grasp her breath. The trainer making her way out there. So the whistle will go against Keely Custer, and she becomes the second Philly with 3. So couldn't, wasn't sure she was planted or not. The official says she wasn't, so they'll call the charge or call the foul against Custer. As Garrett still trying to catch her breath, slowly getting in, hitting the throat as she went in that time. If you're fed up, call Canup. Canup Law promises you to treat you with care, respect, and dignity in whatever legal situation you may find yourself in. Give Brian and his team a call, or you can, of course, check them out online at canuplaw.com. Right there on Main Street in Cynthiana. And they're going to take Garrett out. She still kind of catches her breath, and they're going to let Pence, Micaiah Pence, shoot the free throws for her. 36-28, 8-point lead for the Phillies. 4:06 left to play. Up and bounces in there. Makes Pence 1 for 3 at the stripe. Lunsford in for Custer. 36-29. Makes it a 6-point lead as the second one will fall through. Hudgens will take it out. Gets it into Van Hook. Ludlow still in their full court defense. Bringing it down to Hudgens. She'll go up, and she's fouled on the way. And looks like that's against Sherry Pence. And Sherry didn't agree with the call, but the official says, yeah, you just picked up your first. And that will put Bailey at the line for 2. She is 2 for 2 there tonight. That's 7 points overall, and she'll bury it. 37-30. Apparently one of the Ludlow fans cheering her on there. It worked, whatever it was. Up and in. Mary Ming's perfect at the strike. Harrison County back up by 8 at 38-30 as we go halfway through the fourth quarter. Gary puts it up and in for 2. Her first field goal to the second half. Hudgens up and no. Ball rebound by Garrett. Addie looking to bring the ball down the floor. Right side. She's trying to take the game over. Puts it up, not able to make it fall. Ball knocks around. Out front we go. Pence and Lynn will get tied up. Out of bounds it'll go. They'll call it off of Pence. Harrison County ball. Lunsford has a seat as Custer checks back in for the Phillies. Van Hook will take it out around center court across the way. Back in to Custer in the backcourt. Keeley slowly and will come across. Bounce pass finds Hudgens. Hudgens looking to go inside. Van Hook tries to go up. Ludlow gets a hand on it, then it's safe from going out of bounds by Pence. Pence goes to Garrett. Garrett down the floor to Pence, up and in for two, and that's Michaela Pence's first field goal. And the 4-point brings it a 4-point lead for Harrison County at the 3-minute mark. Kenny, cross half-court line. Brooke being guarded very closely by Hoffmeister. Hudgens goes down, up, and cannot get it to fall. Linville fights for it and goes back up, and as she does, Ludlow's going to get it. And they're going to whistle that one. Against Keeley Huff. I'll be Huff's first. Put Linville at the line. 1 for 3 there tonight. It's 3 points overall. Katie could not get the fall, a little too hard. Lunsford in for Custer for Harrison County. Garrett in for Micaiah Pence for Ludlow. Linville get another shot, though. A little too hard that time as well. Daniel got a hand on it, saves it from going out. Problem was she got it to Huff. Harrison County takes it away, puts it up and in for two. Brooke Kenny puts it up and in for the basket. And she'll be going to the line looking for the 3-point play. 40-34, Phillies back up by 6. Olivia King back in for Sherry Pence. 2:46, all we've got left to play. Brooke goes to the line. She is 0 for 2 there tonight. A little too hard. Now with the rebound that time is Addie Garrett. Garrett gets it back to Garrett. Looking to bring the ball down the floor. Goes off the glass, up and in for 2. Timeout on the floor. 30-second timeout, which will give us a chance to tell you about Kentucky Farm Bureau. Dustin Rose and Amy Davis do a great job out there. For any insurance needs you may have, get in touch with Kentucky Farm Bureau. It's very simple. Just give them a call at 859-234-4514. 234-4514, Kentucky Farm Bureau. 40-36, 4-point lead. Harrison County has been up by as many as 9 here in the second half. 2:37 left to play here this afternoon. Harrison County, you mentioned trailing at the half, but had a big third quarter. A pretty good fourth quarter as well. Stay with us. Following the game, we'll have our post-game report. We will name the Judy Construction Player of the Game. We'll take a look at the individual numbers as well as be joined by Coach Watson and get some of his comments. Harrison County, the Thoroughbreds, as we mentioned, about 10 minutes away from getting that one tipped off. Scheduled-wise, I think it was the second of 3 games that was taking place in that 9th-10th challenge up at Bracken County. Brett's taking on Boone, that of course on WCYN radio. Ball put back into play. Kenny gets it into Custer. He goes back to Kenny. Gets it to Lunsford, and Bailey gets it down the floor. Nearly stripped by Garrett, but is able to hang on to it. Hands off to Custer. Custer looking to the right side. Garrett hanging right with her. Left side, Linville. Linville looking underneath. Gets it to Van Hook. Van Hook goes up and in for 2. Nice play. She has had a big second half. 42-36, Phillies up by 6 as we hit the Clemming, and now at the 2-minute mark. Garrett, long three-pointer, hits that off the glass, up and in. Her first three-pointer of the ball game. Second three-pointer. 42-39. 3-point lead as we go under 2. Van Hook on the right side, picks up her dribble, back out to Hudgens. Bailey nearly stripped by Garrett. Garrett gets tied up with her. And with a jump ball, possession arrow belongs to Ludlow. Coach Watson not very happy camper, and can't say I blame him on that one. King will throw it in the backcourt to Garrett. Garrett across the half-court line. Looking to go around her defender. Goes down, runs over top of Kenny, and they call Brooke for the foul. 132. thought she was there, but apparently the official did not. That's her third, and comes the third Philly with 3.
She'll be shooting 2.
We'll give Garrett a lot of credit. She didn't score in the first or the third. She did score 7 in that second. And she has 8 here in the fourth. 9. And she'll get it to fall through. Came in averaging 14 points. Senior, the leading scorer for Ludlow, brings them within 2, trying to make it a 1-point ball game. And she'll do just that. 3 for 6 at the stripe. Harrison tries to get the ball into play. As they do, King will knock it right back out. The defense intensity picking up for Ludlow here. Hudgens will take it out under the Lady Panther basket. Trying to get it in. We'll try to get it into Van Hook, and as they do, Garrett will knock it right back out. Ball put in. Custer feeds Hudgens. She'll bring it across the half-court line as we go under 90 seconds. Garrett will come, or not, that's not Garrett. That's Addie Garrett, rather. Comes out and bumps her. Picks up her second foul. And that should, and we'll put Harrison County in the double bonus. And we'll put Hudgens at the line.
At the line for the Phillies, Bailey Hudgens should be shooting 2.
There's 9 points overall here in the ball game. Phillies up by a point, 42-41. And does not make it fall, cannot get it to fall in. Hit everywhere but inside that rim. She'll have another. Couple of dribbles. Up and in. 2-point ball game. And 10 points for Bailey Hudgens. Other end we come. Garrett looking to try to get down to tie this thing up. Goes down on the left side to King. Long three-pointer from the left side. Misses everything. And out of bounds it'll go. And Ludlow fans saying Kenny got a hand on it. The official, who was in a better angle, said no, she didn't. 43-41. 1:13 left to play. Phillies up by 2. Bailey Hudgens trying to get the ball into play under the Ludlow basket. Phillies trying to get down the floor. Caroline Van Hook will receive it. Garrett will hang out with her as we quickly approach the 1-minute mark. Van Hook gets away with a push. Continue to try on the left side to Hudgens. 1 minute. Custer back out in front. Looking to the left. Van Hook looks to feed Hudgens. Hudgens in the basket. Over the top 3 defenders. Not able to make it fall in. Addie Garrett out with the rebound. Addie brings it down. Runs across the top over Kenny, and the charge called. Officials finally calling a charge in the ball game. And that one against Addie Garrett, that's her third. 43-41. Brooke Kenny in there taking it. 46.9 seconds left. Harrison County will take it out. Brooke Kenny will get ready to throw it in. Kenny, Van Hook, Custard, Hudgens, and Linville out there for the Phillies. Gets it back into Van Hook. Van Hook tries to get it to Kenny. Kenny gets tangled up with King. And the possession now belongs to Harrison County. Garrett, Hoffmeister, King, and Micaiah Pence out there for Ludlow. Timeout called. 43 seconds left. Harrison County trying to pick up a big win here tonight. As I mentioned a year ago, making that trip to Ludlow, and it was not a fun night. Ludlow picking up that win just a year ago down there. Stay with us. We'll have the Judy Construction Player of the Game. We'll name that during our post-game report. We'll be joined by one of the Harrison County coaches. We'll also take a look back at some individual numbers and how this one breaks down here tonight. All coming up during the post-game report. Harrison County back in action Tuesday night, making the trip over to Bracken County. Well, that'll be right here on WCYN2's app. This Ludlow team also in action on Tuesday, as they will return home to take on Bellevue. Phillies return to the Hilltop a week from Monday. They'll take on Western Hills. Between middle game in that 3-game set will be a trip to Paris. Harrison County taking it out under the Ludlow basket. Caroline Van Hook getting ready to get it into play. 43-41. Phillies leading the Lady Panthers. Ludlow going full court, man-to-man. Back across court we go. Custard, Van Hook. Van Hook with Garrett comes, picks her up. Back to Custard, 37 seconds. On the right side, goes down in the right corner, which will feed Linville. Timeout called by Harrison County. Full timeout on the floor. So I mentioned the Breads in action in about 4 or 5 minutes if they're on schedule over at Bracken, taking on Boone County. Breads in action back here at the Hilltop Tuesday night. George Rogers Clark, the defending state champions, making their way to the Hilltop. Undefeated on the year. Number 1 in the state. Should be a well of a matchup. Harrison County, as we mentioned, the Breads 4-0 on the year going into play tonight. Could possibly have a chance of the unbeatens. That'll be Tuesday night, both here on the YouTube side of things as well as the radio. Fillies, as we mentioned, on the road Tuesday night, and that'll be a WCYN2 at ball game. Well, we'll get ready to get this game back underway here in just a matter of moments. Harrison County getting ready to break their huddle. Ludlow will be the first out. Micaiah Pence, Hoffmeister, Addie Garrett, Miley Garrett rather, and Olivia King out there. Harrison County with Caroline Van Hook, Keely Custard, Brooke Kenny, Katie Linville, and Bailey Hudgens out there. Ball thrown away. Ludlow takes it out. Pence goes down to Addie Garrett, and as Garrett tries to retrieve it, Bailey Hudgens is going to clock her pretty much just to get tangled up, and the trainer yet going to make another trip out there. That'll be Bailey's third. She got pretty hard, went down pretty hard. She's still down on the floor in a little bit of pain. It's been a busy day for the trainer. 43-41, 29 seconds is all we've got left to play. She is grabbing that left ankle, which she earlier in the ball game at the other end in the first half came down wrong and grabbed that ankle and still sitting down, and apparently we'll have a moment of silence for them here at the gym. It's gotten very quiet. Phillies trying to pick up win number 1 on this year's campaign. 0-3 on the year. It would be Coach Watson's very first victory as head coach of Harrison County. Ludlow 2-2 on the young year. Out of the 9th region. Mentioned Ludlow, the Lady Panthers losing last year in opening round play of the district, falling to Campbell. That's not right. It's the wrong note. They lost the first round of the region last year. Well, Garrett's going to come off the floor, and she'll come limping. Still in some pain, and coming off the bench will be Alyssa Stam, a junior. Seeing a little bit of action throughout the ball game. 29 seconds left. Stem's going to go shoot the free throw shots for her. She has 2 points overall. First trip to the line tonight. And misses the first one. They're still trying to bring the Lady Panthers within 1. We saw them do that here in the fourth quarter. Phillies was able to withstand the storm of the first time. Let's see what they do here in the second. That went a little too hard. Back out it goes. Van Hook comes down with it. Back to Hudgens. Bailey nearly throws the ball away. Out of bounds off of Ludlow. 43-41. 23 seconds left. Sherry Pence back in for Stam. Van Hook trying to get her offense where they need to be. And she gets ready to throw it in. Tries to throw it in the backcourt to Custard. As she does, Garrett's going to get a hand on it and knock it out of bounds. So Hudgens will take it out around center court. This time here, Ludlow will put a defender on the ball. It's it back to Linville. Linville stands and holds the ball out on the right wing, finds Hudgens. Hudgens, little slapping going on, and the officials will not say anything, and then they will finally put an end to it, and the whistle against Olivia King, and that's her fourth. She becomes the second Panther with 4, and this puts Hudgens at the line. 5 for 6 there. Makers 6 for 7. 44-41, back to a 3-point game. Timeout call by Ludlow with 17.7 seconds left. Well of a ball game here. Harrison County trying to pick up win number 1. As we mentioned last year, the trip to Ludlow saw Harrison County fall 73-57 to Ludlow. Ludlow did go 25-11 last year. First time those two clubs have met. And they try to even the series. Both clubs getting advice from their coaches. Both first-year head coaches for their teams. As we mentioned, Coach Watson, no surprise, no stranger to the sidelines. Long-time high school coach. Earlier tonight, Ludlow took the JV game 33-27. Hudgens goes to the line, and Bailey will sink it and make it a 2-possession ball game. 45-41, 15 seconds left. Garrett bringing the ball down. Pence in the left corner, back to King. Under 10 seconds, ball loose. And loose, continues to be fought for, continues on the floor. Got a tie-up with 3 seconds left. Harrison County's going to pick up their first win on the season. 3.1 seconds left. Possession arrow belongs to Harrison County. And Ludlow saying it belongs to them, and the officials at the score table say it will too, and so it will be Ludlow ball. Pretty much will get it thrown in and just let them do whatever they're going to do. Garrett comes down. Long three-pointer, buries it at the buzzer. That's Miley Garrett, his third three-pointer of the ball game. Harrison County picks up win number 1 on the year as they win 45-44 here over Ludlow, and the officials are still meeting. Let's see what's going on here as one official come to the table. (45-44), and they're going to put some time on the clock. I was going to say we're closer than 3 seconds, I would think, because we were about 3 seconds when they threw the ball in. They'll put 0.3 seconds. 45-44. Harrison County ball. Well, Phillies have got to get it in without Ludlow taking it away. If they can do that, they will pick up their first win. We'll see what happens. So with 0.3 of a second. Lunsford coming in for Harrison County. Hudgens will take it out. Here we go. Hudgens gets the ball, throws it to the other end. It's intercepted by Garrett, and she just turns around and throws it. And now we'll have the official. 45-44. Harrison County picks up the first win of the year to go 1-3 on the year. Ludlow will fall to 2-3 here this afternoon. A lot of smiles on the side of Harrison County, and Coach Watson picks up his first win as Harrison County head coach. We're going to step out. When we return, we'll have our post-game report. We'll be joined by Coach Watson and the Harrison County coaching staff as well. Take a look how the individual numbers look, name our Judy Construction player of the ball game, and a lot more to come here from the floor of the Hilltop here at Harrison County. Phillies pick up win number 1 on the year to go 1-3. 45-44 your final over Ludlow, who goes 2-3. You're listening to Harrison County Phillies basketball on WCYN.